Can the same marks give two different results? Let's see. I'll enter the marks as, let's say, 70, and I'll enter the attendance percentage as, let's say, 78. Now I enter and I see that passed, you are eligible, right? Now let's run this program one more time and let's see now. Now I'll enter the same marks, 70, and I'll enter the attendance percentage as, let's say, 74. Now let's see what it says. It says passed but attendance is below 75. Now how is it happening? Because we are checking one condition inside another condition. This is called nested if in Python. Let's break it down step by step. In the previous video, we checked marks using if-elif statement. Now let's make it more realistic by adding attendance using nested if statement. Now I got two inputs here, marks and attendance, right? And now I'm taking this marks using this input function in Python, and I'm converting this into integers so that I can compare the marks, right? And the same thing I'm doing for this attendance by input function. I take the attendance and I convert it into integer so that I can compare the attendance, right? Now let's add another condition here. Now I'll just write here marks if marks greater than or equal to 50. Okay, now I'm just comparing the marks with this marks 50. Now the condition is what? If marks is greater than or equal to 50, then what will I do is I will have another condition here. That is why we are taking attendance. So now this second if is actually called the inner if, right? So now this attendance I am comparing with, let's say I want to compare the attendance with 75, right? Because you may get marks more than 50, but you may or may not get attendance greater than or equal to 75. So I'm just making a condition here, right? Now what happens is, now if attendance is greater than or equal to 75, if this condition is true, then I'm going to print a statement here. I'll just write here print. I'll write here passed. Okay, I'll write here I'll just write here you are eligible, right? So what I'm doing, I'll tell you now. Now this if is actually called the outer if. Why? Because there are two ifs here, and this if is actually called the inner if. Why? Because this if is actually inside this if. So that's why we call this actually a nested if. Remember, nested if is a if statement within another if statement. Okay, now you are eligible. Okay, now let's say that the marks is greater than or equal to 50, condition true, and let's say the attendance is let's say not greater than or equal to 75. That means the attendance is below 75. Then I can say here else. Okay, it comes to the else else part, and now I'll print one statement here. What can I print? You tell me now. Let's say the marks is greater than or equal to 50. The condition is true, but attendance is, let's say, 74 or 73, which is below 75. Then what happens is this condition is false. Then I execute this else, right? So here I can write here, remember, if okay, if the marks is greater than 50, or sorry, if the marks is greater than or equal to 50, and if the attendance is, let's say, less than 75, then I come to this else part and I'll write here passed, but can I write like this? Passed but attendance is below 75. I think a student can relate to this example, right? But attendance is below 75 percentage. Now this makes sense, right? Now what about this one? Now let's say the marks is, let's say, less than 50. Let's say a student has got 40 marks. Then what happens? If the outer if condition is false, then it will never come to the inner if statement, right? So let's say that another else statement I'll give here, which is for the outer if, right? If this condition is false, then I come to this else part. Then what can I write here? Can I write like this? Print, obviously, if the marks is less than or equal to 50, then I'll make the student fail. So I'll say fail, please try again. Yes, right? So please try again. Now let's run this program and check. To run this, click on this Python file. Yes, now it says enter marks, right? Because I'm going to take the input marks, right? So let's say I'm entering marks, let's say 56. Yes, so marks is 56. That means what? Now I'll take this 56, right? Now again I'll press enter now. I'll press enter. Again, it's asking what attendance percentage. Why? Because I'm also going to take the attendance. Let's say attendance also I'm making it, more than 75 or equal to 75, not an issue, right? So I'll make it 75. Yes, now I got both the inputs. Okay. Now I'll press enter now. Just see what happens here. It says, passed, you are eligible. How is it happening? Why? Because I have entered 56. So 56 means marks is greater than or equal to 50. Yes, condition true. If the condition is true, I come here, I come to the inner if statement and I check the attendance now. What is the attendance now? I got attendance is, let's say 75. I have entered 75. So 75 attendance is greater than or equal to 75. Yes, condition is true. Then definitely you should print this. So I'm printing this passed, you are eligible, right? Okay, now let's see another input. Now I'll just run this again. I'll just run this again. Now this time let's enter, let's say I'm entering enter the marks. Let's say I'm entering let's say 59. Yes, and this time I'll make the attendance less than 75 and let's see what happens. Now let's say I'm entering 73, right? Now I'll enter this now. Now I'll enter this now. Now do you see here? I see passed, but attendance is below 75. Why? Because attendance marks is greater than or equal to 50, condition true, but this inner if statement condition is false. Why? Because I have entered attendance 73. So attendance is not greater than or equal to 75. So I come to this else part and it displays this passed, but attendance is below 75 percentage. Now let's run this program and see another possibility. Like we'll give another input. Yes, and we'll see all the possibilities, okay, to explore this nested if. Now I will enter the marks. Okay, I'll enter the marks, okay, below 75. Okay, now let's say I'm entering 48 or 47. Now let's see what happens when I enter marks, enter 47. Now I press enter now. Now I'll also enter the attendance. Let's say I'm entering attendance as 80, let's say 85, okay, 89, okay, I'm entering, but still it will say fail, please try again. Why? Because marks is actually 47. That means the first outer if itself is actually false. That means it will not go inside this if it will not execute this inner if, or I can say nested if condition, right? Then it comes to this else part and it displays print please print fail, please try again. That is why you're getting this fail, please try again, right? So in the next lesson we will explore loops in Python. And if you're learning Python with this course, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss upcoming lessons. Thank you.